Hello, everyone, and welcome to the new season of the Generals Division in Axis and Allies. This is season 17, and for those of you who don't know, the Generals Division is where the top players in the Axis and Allies 1942 Discord play. There's several tiers. Goodness, I don't know how many there are, maybe 8 or so tiers that you have to work your way up to, and now that we're in the best of the best here at the Discord, I'm going to be playing Drewise today, and he is mostly a custom games player these days, but as you can see, when he does play ranked, Axis 19-1. His best allies was season 9, rank 3, 31-4, very skilled player. We played him, I believe, 2 seasons ago, and I don't think he got a chance to showcase his skill. So let's hop into the game today and see how things went. So he did a standard purchase, 4 infantry, 2 tanks. He had an absolutely perfect West Russia. That really sucks. Trust me, I absolutely hate it. And he had a below average Ukraine, which is usually, this is 2 or 1 tanks is average when you do what I do, where bomber dies first. I'll swap that over to the submarine submerging in the battle and AA going after infantry. It's very important to swap your defense profiles. Depending on the situation, it can make a big difference. So basically, this situation kind of sucks for us because he has 3 more infantry than normal, and that makes it a lot easier for him to trade, a lot harder for us to bully him out of West Russia, and it forces me to stuff a lot more units in Karelia to prevent him from, just wiping us out. So this is a little troublesome, so I am going to hope that by buying a bomber, I can cause the UK to delay their fleet drop. So this is kind of a borderline opener where I'm like, do I do the sub-split? He's hit C-Zone 10 and C-Zone 7. Since he had only 1 guy remaining in Ukraine, I think I'm going to opt to not do the submarine split for that reason. It's really borderline, though. I absolutely hate this start. He has so much extra infantry to bully us with. But yeah, if he had even 1 extra tank here, I probably would go for the C-Zone 10, C-Zone 7 split, because I think we're super behind at that point, whereas in this situation, I think we're in a pretty poor spot, but not poor enough to make me, do this, because you only kill the destroyer and the transport 1 out of 3 times. Mutual suicide 1 out of 3, and he kills you and you get nothing 1 out of 3, and it's just and then this fight can get really dicey too, and I just don't like to take those sort of risks unless, 1, I think I'm playing against a superior opponent, or 2, I think I'm really far behind, and at this point I think my skill level's high enough to where I don't do those super aggressive openings, because I think I can trade hits with just about anyone and have a good chance of coming out on top. Alright, let me double check. This is what we want to do. I'm just doing 2 infantry here. I have to be very saving. I want to be very frugal in this game. He has a lot of extra units, and I need to treat every one of mine as precious. could... if you failed to kill that destroyer. I remember the very first time I failed to kill that destroyer and it killed my battleship was against General Jippy, which at the time had no idea who he was. I'm like, okay, he's probably just some ladder scrub. I can come back from this. And spoiler alert, I did not come back from this. He abused me as good as he possibly could have, and I lost in a very humiliating fashion that game. So, not the best opponent to have your first German battleship flub. Jeez. Well, oh god, I'm so glad I didn't do the sub-split. Oh, this is gonna be a short one, isn't it? Okay. I am going to be amping up the aggression to max. That was absolutely god-awful. I don't think there's any coming back from that. I don't think... I can't even try to do a risky Corellia stack because he has 9 infantry. Oh. Wow. Wow. Can I even defend this? Can I even defend this territory? Sweet Jesus. Let's punch the numbers in. No, that's not enough. How many do I need? Nope, 2 is not enough. 4 infantry enough. 4 infantry will do it. Well, you have these games. These sort of games tend never to see the light of day because there's just not much to learn from it. The game usually ends, well, it ends quicker if you have a bad start as allies. Axis tend to die a little bit slower. Okay, well... Anyway, see you next time for Japan 1. Welcome back, it's Japan 1. Let's take a look at what Drewise did. Bought an aircraft carrier and 5 land units, which is a reasonable purchase considering he's got a lot of transports. So, see his combat, he took the freebie in France, freebie there. Decided to bombard to try and maybe get an AA, whittle us down. He got a good result, got 2 units. And he also knows that we're anti-aircraft second, so he'll know to be more cautious with that strafe there. So good move by him. Not so great for us. Killed our destroyer, no losses. Killed the battleship, lost one bomber, so no good news here. One slight mistake, it looks like, is he took infantry from here, which you don't want to do when you have 2 units to pick up from Eastern Canada. Well, I don't know if I'll call it a mistake, but it's not what I would do. I'd either pick 2 units up from, you know, these islands so you can drop them off here, or just leave them all so you can pick up 2 when you get to Eastern Canada rather than leave them hanging. But who knows, maybe he wants that guy to defend Alaska. So we are super behind to the point where we are circling the drain on conceding, so I need to take a big risk to try and equalize the game. And there are 2 paths forward. There's the path of Pearl Harbor Light, where I send the fighter, the bomber, you know, cruiser, sub, and I don't include a second fighter. So if I get lucky and win, I don't have to sacrifice a fighter to prevent the carrier from going there. Or I can hit Sichuan, and what that does is if I clear it, the US doesn't, they lose a fighter, they lose these 2 infantry to trade, which is really annoying. You know, they can trade very efficiently because they'll have a fighter, a bomber, maybe even 2 fighters, and it just delays the encroachment of Japan's encroachment on Russia. So I thought about it, and if I get lucky in Pearl Harbor Light, it will make a med shock harder for him, which is quite scary considering I lost a plane in C-Zone 7, but that advantage really won't show for a couple turns, probably 3 turns, whereas if I kill Sichuan, that gives me some capital right away. So I think this is the gamble that I'm going to go for, Sichuan. And the purchase is the standard: 1 infantry, 1 tank, India pressure, 3 transports. So first, taking that because it's free, making sure my defense profile is on aircraft carrier after fighter, because I'm going to have an aircraft carrier here, and I don't want him getting a cheap and easy trade. I am going to send 2 battleships here because I don't like the idea of him getting lucky and getting 2 hitbacks and screwing me over. I'm going to send 3 infantry here because I am desperate. This is also a little desperate. Might be better off sending this. Well, I guess this guy can go there. We're desperate here. We're taking risky fights with that. These are so many middling fights. So many middling fights that have... I mean, I'm favored in all of them, but the variability of things going terribly wrong is high, but I'm too behind to play it safe. When you play it safe, when you're behind, you just get more behind. You don't have as much capital to get things done, so you need to take high value risks. You know, there's low value risks where you just, you know, low probability, and even if you win, it doesn't do much. And then there are higher value risks, like what we're attempting here. Oh boy. If this fails, do I have any fighters that can back up in C-Zone 60? No, I could just kind of just do an aircraft carrier, and that's about all I got. Well, I just need to not fail. leave out? Do I leave myself a way out and not have the cruiser come here so I can defend? Do I leave myself a way out in the case of failure? That's the question. I'll just do it like this. This should most likely be a kill. And I can add something to C-Zone 60 to see if all hell breaks loose. I could also hit C-Zone 41 for a submarine YOLO. I'm not super partial to doing that. What are the odds of success there? They have to be pretty low. 10% chance to clear, yeah. I don't think I'm that desperate yet. I still need the sub to help defend against his submarines. It has some value. Okay. Well, let's try it. Almost clicked the destroy. I've done that before in sea battles where I forget about the double hit aspect of battleship and just kind of autopilot click on the other guys and waste waste units needlessly. Oh joy. Let's do you. Got it. Well, let's do the important one first. That's not good. Oh, son of a bitch. Can't do it. Oh no. Ugh. Well, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. I'll tell you that. Guess I'll leave them there. I guess there's no reason to leave that there, because he has no bomber, right? He can't reach C-Zone 62, so there was really no purpose in me saving those. Right? You can go 1, 2, 3, dead, 1, 2, 3, no, can't reach there. There's no UK unit sitting, no UK fighter here. So that was a misplay on my part. Turned out not to matter because I had a lot of overkill, but a misplay nonetheless. going the way I would like. It was pretty terrible. Pretty terrible. I lost a lot and I gained almost nothing. Lost one here, one here, one here, two there. Okay, well, we'll see what we can drag out of this game. Catch you next time for Germany 2. Welcome back, it's Germany 2, and let's take a look at what Drewise did. So, US, no combat. He bought aircraft carrier, 2 transports, 3 infantry. I think that's a smart purchase by him. He realizes my navy is greatly depleted. Not my navy, my air force. I lost a unit there. He has a ton of extra defense from UK. Pearl survived, so he doesn't really need to invest in that destroyer like you normally would, and instead invested in more land units so he can just pick these puppies up and launch them. Though he should have unloaded them in Mexico. Don't know why he did that. Another small piece of good news is he put the C-Zone 64 submarine trick, so it can hit these 2 areas, but if we move our destroyer and a battleship here, we either trap and kill the sub, or he has to move his navy back. Either way, small win for us. Russia, he bought 4 and 4, the standard buy. Hit Ukraine, killed 1, lost 1, nothing in Bello. Hit Karelia, and we diced him pretty hard here. I looked at it, I said, how does 1 AA live? That should never happen. Well, we got a little bit of luck and got a 2 artillery profit. Still way behind, but, you know, every little bit helps. He also split his units here, which I think is good for us because we have the fighters to trade here. We can hit here as well. So that should give us a slight efficiency for us. Not big, but these tiny little things over time can turn this absolutely atrocious game into hopefully a tenable position. So for my purchase, I see no way of contesting their navy, so I'm not going to try to purchase any more air at all. I'm just going to buy lots and lots of land units in order to stall as long as possible and hope Japan can get something done. That's the plan. So, first things first. I'm a little tempted to hit this, but I'd have to land my bomber here, which wouldn't turn out good for me. Oh man, I can't even afford to send units to Baltic states because he has this doom fleet here. Ugh, what a nightmare. Do I want to stack Egypt or not? So he has a lot of fighters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He has 7 fighters in range. I'm a little weaker because I got demolished in Sichuan. I only have 3 units here, and I want 4 units to send 2 to Kwangtung. So my India timing is looking pretty weak. And if he were to just smash everything he has into me it would be, I don't know, a respectable battle for him. Do I want to give him those odds? Because if I get it, I might be able to get some more IPCs. If I don't, I just instantly lose all of Africa, and that kind of sucks. I am inclined to just go for it, because if he uses all of this here, he doesn't have good odds on Burma unless he wants to invest more units. I kind of need to take risks. It's kind of... if I were him, I'd probably still hit Egypt, but I just kind of have to try to take these small little risks and hope something comes of it. You know, hope I get good dice, or hope he doesn't attack it. And maybe hope he sends more guys into Africa to delay the pressure on Germany. The problem is, when you're this far behind, there just aren't, you know, sometimes no matter any option you do is a bad option. You know, there aren't good moves. So I'm going to take this risk, and who knows, maybe something can come of it. Come on. How many dice thrown was that? That was... I had 7 units. That was 21 dice to get a hit. But I guess I shouldn't complain about the result. Look at that. Precision. Brought all those units in for 2 hits. Alright, so I'll move the AA there. We're gonna cuddle up here in Karelia. It's nice I got to keep that. Let's move all the boys forward to Egypt. He doesn't have odds here, right? Yes, 10, 11, 12, 13 units. No, he shouldn't have odds. I might keep the bomber here, just in case I want to hit Egypt next turn if he captures it. I'll have some fighters to do so. I want at least one fighter here. Oh, they all have to go there. Never mind. I can't safely move into Baltic states, can I? Yeah, he didn't do a full land purchase, so I don't know. Am I safe there? I don't think I am. I think I just have to shove everything into Poland and then use these guys to trade Ukraine and Belo while making 2 units a turn in Karelia. Oh man, if I can win this game, it'll be a Christmas miracle. Next question. Am I safe in Italy with the bomber? I might put 2 infantry here, just for safety's sake. Let's check my defense profiles. Group submerge, AA protection. I'll just turn AA protection on, which means anti-aircraft, go after infantry. I'm not exiting and reloading because my other profile should do the same thing. It's just... I guess it doesn't really matter since I don't plan to make any more subs, but cleaner on the eyes this way. I think I bought too many artillery. Well, they're there. That's where they'll stay. I'm looking at Berlin like, he can't take that, right? These units, he's got 3 planes, 2 bombards. Should be safe. Alright. Oh, we're ahead. 7 attack power after turn 2. That is just not what you want to see. But, not much we can do about it. Alright, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys for Japan 2. Welcome back. It's Japan 2, and let's take a look at what Drewise has done. So, for his purchase, 9 infantry, a transport, and an artillery. And this, to me, signals that he's not planning to go heavy air. It seems like he wants to just get a bunch of UK units to threaten my stacks and just smash me quickly, because he's going to have his 4th transport up here, and since you can only make 8 a turn, that doesn't really give him any room to build planes. So this is a strategy that I almost never employ myself because it's just very volatile, in terms of if Germany gets a strong Karelia stack, and then you have a multinational force in Finland. It's, in my opinion, just not as strong doing a 2-1 punch as investing more in UK air to slow down Japan more efficiently or to bomb Germany. But if you're ahead like he is in his situation, I think it's a reasonable strategy. And yeah, we'll see if we can hold on. I see he's a little light on defenses here. I can hit this with all my planes. So he would probably need to add all of his US forces here to have me consider not attacking it, because that's pretty juicy if he doesn't further reinforce it. Alright, for Japan, just buying the standard complex 6 infantry. I don't see any possible way of us getting a fast kill. He's got the tanks in range of India, bunch of fighters, so we're just gonna play it slow, as much as I hate that. Alright, this bloke is going to hit here. It feels a little inefficient using my what do you call it? Artillery in Burma, where I know it's going to get blasted next turn, but I care more about the logistical efficiency than I do about, you know, saving the artillery. Alright, so now I also need to consider where I'm going to place my units at the end of the turn. I'm going to have a bomber and a destroyer here. Sorry, a battleship and a destroyer there. Actually, let me put my foot off the brakes here, because I might be forced into stacking everything in one position, because this Sub can hit here and here. It can't hit C-Zone 61. He doesn't have... Yeah, he doesn't have any additional reinforcements. Yeah, I should be safe in 61, right? Oh man, that's a lot of overkill. He only has... Wait, where did... Oh, yes, his US sub is here. Okay. Should be good. I can just take this guy here and plop him down there. That way I can save the precious artillery. Now the next question I asked myself is, do I want to place 2 transports here? And the advantage of that is I have more overkill to reduce the odds of him getting the second round. Or do I want to put more transports in Yunnan, where I will be able to put a little bit more pressure on Kazakh and Novembrist, because I'm pretty light on units because I lost 2 to Szechuan. So that's worth considering. I think I'm going to put them in Yunnan because I'm behind and need to be a little bit more risk-taking. And when I put the unit, this transport here in 31, I can set up for either a Western Australia attack, or I can just scoop the guy up and plop him back in French Indo. Okay, I think that's about as good as I'm going to get. See if we can squeeze back into this game. Nice. Nice. Perfect. We need more of that. That's what I was saying. I don't think it's good for him to position his Russia. Oh, perfect. Can't complain about perfection. Nothing lost yet. Reason I'm not a big fan of placing these 2 units here is because if I have planes in range, I can just get super efficient trades, and you don't really accomplish anything as Russia. If he were to have attacked Bury with 3 infantry, that accomplishes something because it forces me to go to Yakut, kind of prevents me from going for India 3, and accomplishes a little bit more than this. So, okay, let's finish the non-combat. I decided that I wanted to add more units to pressure Russia because it's going to be difficult for me to hold this. Move the aircraft carrier back here. Let's see the plane movement. The ones with 1 movement go here. I think I'm going to leave this infantry here, and hear me out. And the reason for that is to pressure him to think I might go for Madagascar, pressure him to think I might go for, you know, Persia or Transjordan, just to do an African landing. And I might even hold a artillery back. Do I want to hold that back? I think I will. To further create this illusion. Wait, did I use both battleships there? Okay, that's still fine. I think I'll move this aircraft carrier here too, to increase my odds in case he hits it. I made a little bit of misplay. I shouldn't have used my battleship here. I should have put it here, because he's probably going to take a desperate YOLO on this spot, but hopefully it shouldn't influence us too much. Okay. And if I'm lucky, what he'll do here is he'll put down a destroyer, waste 8 IPCs, 1 less unit in India, and then I can just slurp that up. Because he's probably going to be wanting to play pretty conservative since he's in such a winning position. All right. He could hit this with his tanks, but I don't think that's too intelligent. I got reinforcements here. This cannot be hit, right? The sub can go 1, 2. Fighters. I guess if he kept 1, 2, 3. No, let's say if he doesn't have any bomb. Where's his US bomber? It's here. UK bomber died, so that is safe. I've lost naked transports there before. This guy can't reach this sub. Out of range. Maybe it's okay I put the battleship here in case he puts down a destroyer. I can soak up a hit. Okay, well, this was a good turn, not getting any hitbacks, though it may seem small, you know, oh, they're just... You know, he on average should have gotten 1 extra hit. It adds up. Tiny, especially in the first few rounds, 1 or 2 extra units can absolutely snowball the game. Absolutely do it. All right, there. Yeah, he could also send this fighter, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I should still have better odds defending. I have 3 lives and 5 attack power versus 2 lives and 5, so that should be a win for me if he decides to go through with it. And he'd have to pull this aircraft carrier back, which I would be able to kill with the battleship. So yeah, that's a terrible fight for him. All right. Good. Oh, only 3 attack power. Yeah, the Axis attack power lead gets whittled away very quickly with the Allies' income, and the fact that we're extra weak is only going to make taking these early IPCs even more difficult and set us further behind. But you know, I think we took every reasonable risk we could. And we just have to hope that we get lucky or Drewise makes a mistake, like not reinforcing C-Zone 8 here. Alright, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time for Germany 3. Welcome back, it's Germany 3. Let's take a look at what Drewise did. US, more transports, infantry. Looks like he bought a tank to contest the Alaska threat. Though he didn't do doesn't make a super lot of sense to me, because he doesn't even, you know, just be 1 tank with no planes. Actually, this is ironically a little bit of a juicy target to hit that and 2 AA guns, so I might decide to hit that, or at least consider it, because that's a lot of value. Don't know if that's... And he doesn't have a lot that can even take it back. I mean, he'd have to neglect this transport and send more here. Well, I don't know. I guess he'd have this much, but seems like a reasonable attack. Because he send his planes 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think he's going to do that, though. Anyway, for combat, took Norway, took Morocco, bought infantry. He's going very heavy on artillery as Russia, which tells me he wants to be aggressive. And I think he has the capital to do so. Hit Ukraine, failed Ukraine. So now I have to consider what he can he actually take me out of Karelia, which is kind of a very strange situation that you don't encounter often as Germany. So let me punch that into the calculator to see. He can't quite take it, but if he softens it up a little bit, he could. Let's say UK, it's kind of borderline. I feel like that's too risky of a move for him to take, but you never know. Anyway, on with the buy. I'm just buying stacks of infantry. I'm not even buying artillery because I don't need them. I just need to stall, 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 and nothing stalls better than infantry. Okay, so for our attack moves, I was considering what to do here. So I considered, should I move down to Anglo-Egypt? And if I do, he can hit me with 1, 2, 3, 4 planes, 2 land units. And if I were he, I would definitely do that. It's a very strong attack, in my opinion. Wipe out the whole Egypt threat. He can take all these IPCs back pretty easily. So I think I will decide against that move because of how much US Air Force, and just, you know, take the Transjordan, Libya, and Egypt income while I can. And since he has an aircraft carrier and a fighter, 2 fighters here, I don't need to abandon France just yet, because if he moves down here, I'll definitely hit that. I can wipe him with pretty overwhelming odds, so I'm not going to defend the Mediterranean. Unfortunately, he shored this up. I still have like 60% odds to clear it, but it's just too tight. I want a big win, not a Pyrrhic victory, and this here isn't close enough for me to want to take it. So since I'm behind, I'm only going for these places with 1 infantry, whereas normally I might go for 2, but we're in such a precarious position, I don't feel comfortable doing so. Good. Son of a bitch. Really? All of them missed? Well, looks like the Germans are going to be even poorer. I didn't even kill it. That's the worst part. Alright. Didn't even kill it. Man, that really sucks that I didn't kill that. Yeah, that's a 2% chance of happening, and that's not the sort of luck we need right now. Okay, what do I have going here? Okay, that should be enough to hold it comfortably. I have to move the fighters back to Berlin in order to deter a Mediterranean attack. God, I hope he doesn't hit this with UK. If he hits it with UK and then hits me again with Russia, there's just nothing I can do about it. I can't retreat. I can't abandon Karelia turn 3. It's Germany and hope to win. I just have to hope he doesn't go that route. And unfortunately, failing to kill and capture that only increases the temptation of doing a sort of risky attack, because he really doesn't have any other places to hit than other than Baltic or continuing to stack Finland. I'm just so fragile. I can't even afford to send units through the Baltic states because its turn 3 is 3 transports, 2 bombards, a bunch of planes. I can't do it. Well, sad as that, but this is the position we're in. Do I want to send another guy here? Don't really have much use for him there. I'll just keep him there so I potentially have more to send to Baltic next turn if that's the route I want to take. Alright, check my defense profiles. Carrier last? I don't need carrier last anymore. I'm not going to restart because there's no real benefit to doing so. Infantry for you. You get an infantry. You get an infantry. You get an infantry. It's our income at. Still got 40 because of Africa, but that's going. Even after Germany's turn. Turn 3 and the Allies are ahead in attack power. Oh, my heart. My poor heart can't take it. Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll catch you guys next time for Japan 3. Welcome back. It's Japan 3, and let's take a look at what Drewise did. So, 6 infantry, a fighter, nothing too unusual. No hitbacks in Burma, and this attack surprised me. He hit France. I ran the numbers very carefully on this to make sure he has horrible odds here. But the problem was he got a top 3% results. AA missed. He got 7 hits when he should have gotten 4. And now he basically has a free dessert here on France, and you know, there's just not much I can do about it. When I have a bad start, I have to take... Well, no, I felt pretty strong about this defense. I ran the numbers on a 2-1 punch, and it should have been very negative for him, but instead it's going to be very positive and probably close out the game. So I was thinking, first, I set bomber first, Germany, because I'm gonna get wiped. Might as well get as much as I can out of it. And I thought, how can I come back in this game? And I checked India. I have like less than a 25% chance to capture. And then he can just blitz his tank down and retake, no problem. So that's off the table. And this Kazakh fight on average is minus 3.3 IPCs, but this is a big ball of units, and I kind of have to take it. I'm in just such a losing position, and my dice have not been good. I'm getting bottom 3% results here when I need... Well, anyway. So that's my plan. So here I'm going to buy another transport because I'm not going to be doing a full logistical load here because I plan to hit Western Canada just because it's worth a lot. And I don't know, maybe it can distract the US. It's just a whatever attack. And bunch of land units, so I don't have a lot going for me. I'm just, maybe I'll even buy another artillery because I'm just desperate. So let's do it. Let's take these boys, hit Burma. This transport. Okay. This isn't a good attack, it's just a kind of mutual suicide attack, but I have to take it. I have to take it. I have to take these suboptimal fights and just hope I get lucky, because both my Japan and Germany has been quite weak. So trying to play it safe and slow when I'm about to get wiped in France, even if this goes well, it doesn't even really change the game in any super impactful way. But if I don't do this, I'm just stalling as Japan, and I need to get something done for Germany. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll probably concede if this fails, or maybe I'll see if he gets luck. But this is a, God, what did I run the numbers on him hitting that? It's a 90% clear, 84% conquer, 24 IPC positive attack, and I set bomber to go first. Ugh. Implausible. Don't we know it? It's nice. It's nice, it's a value gain, but it's not something that like gets you back in the game when you're this far behind. You know, it's like someone that's $1 million in debt, and then they're like, oh, but I saved 50 cents on my Happy Meal at McDonald's. They're like, well, that's great. That's $1 million minus 50 cents. Oh, why are you lagging there? Keeping me in suspense. Well, that wasn't great. That wasn't great. I don't see how I can win from this position. What did I get? 2 hits? What did I get in Kazakh? 3 hits? Wow, that was a bottom 0.5% result. Yeah, this game's hopeless. I've just gotten really bad dice to the point where I can't. Yeah, there's no hope start to finish. I think we made some pretty good moves, but you know, at the end of the game, if the dice have it out for you, there's just not a lot you can do. So Good game to my opponent, but I think that's all I can do.